Today we are talking about fornication. Fornication is sex before marriage. So if now as a student you're already having sex, you're fornicating. That is fornication. You're not supposed to be having it. Sex should only come up in marriage. That is when, and we insist, and I insist, that in marriage you have sex only to do what? To procreate. That is what the Bible says. Nothing else. If you're having sexual intercourse with someone, is to bring forth children. So if unmarried people like you are having sexual intercourse, that means that is fornication. So reasons that lead people to engage in fornication. It's also called premarital sex. So before marriage sex, that's it. So number one is human weakness. Yes, that is, some people are just morally what? Weak. When you're tempted sexually, you adhere to your what? To your bodily physical needs. You're not supposed to do so. Also, another reason why people lead to fornication is sexual curiosity. You want to know what happens when you have sexual intercourse. How do you feel? Because you're curious. Also to prove that you are a man. That is why we say to prove manhood. Also to test whether you're fertile. Yes, that is another reason why people are engaging in fornication. That is one of the reasons that they give. For fear of being jilted by a partner, especially girls. Girls usually have sexual intercourse before marriage because you're scared of your partner leaving you. Being jilted, leaving you and then treating you. And kind, which is wrong. Other people engage in fornication because due to poverty. Because you're poor, you engage in sexual intercourse before marriage so that you can be able to get your basic needs. You get the necessities of life. That means that you're engaging in the sexual intercourse in order to get what? To be paid for. Also, another reason for fornication is availability of contraceptives. They're everywhere. Which types do you know? Huh? Do you know contraceptives are those? No, they're not balloons. They're not balloons. The items that you use to prevent getting pregnant. Yes. Like for example, the medications are available. Which ones do you know? Yes, we do. Yes. Which other? Salama is a what? Araba. It's a what? That one. Yes. Also, another reason for fornication is peer pressure. Because your friends are having it. Yes. You also want to engage in fornication, and then you pressurize each other. Also, influence from electronic media where they entice you. You're watching a movie that people engaging in sexual intercourse. Of course, you'll be influenced to participate also. Due to unemployment, so most of the youth, yes, engage in sexual intercourse in order to get a job. That's the thing. You know, now you're young, you think it is not serious. But when you're older, especially for women, in order for you to get a job, so those people who are working at the industrial area in the companies, you see the Asians, you have to sleep with them in order to continue working if you're under contract. Actually, it was even on the media. It's really bad. And there's nothing you can do because you need the job. If you don't do it, after a week ends or a month, the contract ends, they don't renew it. And the government seems not to do anything about it. That's why I keep on telling you, for you to have the right kind of life, you need to work hard. Because you're going to get rid of some things like those. You see? Yes. Declining of African values. You know, traditionally, like for women, virginity was valued. So, and because it was valued, if we could follow those, girls will not engage in fornication. But we've declined in following the values. Also, due to drug and substance abuse, how many people have engaged in fornication due to being intoxicated? You go, you drink. You want to have sexual intercourse because the drug interferes with your thinking. Your thinking capacity lies to you. Also, permissiveness in the society. This is too much freedom in the society. Nowadays, if we see a young man like you, a young boy, no, you're not a man, you're a boy, you own nothing. A young boy like you and a young girl going to Airbnb. We don't question them. We've allowed so many things to go on. If you're going to a lodging, both of you. When we say permissiveness of the society, there's a lot of freedom in the society. In that I cannot question you boy and a girl, if I see you going to a DJ place, I cannot question you because you're not my son. So that is now leads to you feeling free to do a sin. So effects of fornication. What are the results after you fornicate? Yes. What are the consequences, especially for you young boys? Is you bring children out of wedlock. You bring forth children out of wedlock. Also, there's a feeling of being hurt because immediately, especially for girls, for boys it's different. For girls, if you engage in fornication, immediately the boy leaves you. He's already got what he wanted. What else do you want? Like now you are a boy, young girl. What else do you want? Nothing. After you get it, you go. So there's a feeling of hurt. You see? There's also a feeling of distrust. You cannot trust that person will continue the relationship with you. There's also a guilty feeling because you know you fornicated and you're not supposed to have sex before marriage. So you're feeling guilty. You also contract HIV/AIDS. And I told you very well that you don't know your status. All of you don't know your status. When you're getting your birth certificate, when you were doing your class 8, did you have it or you needed to go look for it? Because your mother gave birth to you at home. So you did not have it, she had to go look it. Because immediately you give birth in a hospital where your parents asked to be tested, you're given the birth certificate. But now you are looking for it because when the giving birth took place in a place that is not a hospital. Or number 2, you're here, you've already slept with a what? With another girl. Also, they did not have the birth certificate. That means their parent could have contacted HIV/AIDS and then you suckle their breasts. So you got the what? The HIV. Because if you go to the hospital and you have HIV/AIDS, they tell you don't do what? Don't breastfeed your child or the baby. But now you have it. You see a girl who's very willing to do this sexual intercourse with you, and also you're very willing, you don't question yourself, why is this girl throwing herself? Yes, towards you. You're just there, accepting everything. You're contacting HIV/AIDS. People don't know. You are. When you're sharpening your pencil, you're using the same what? Razor blade. When you're shaving your beard, you're using the same what? Razor blade. No, I'm not using it over here. We have so many kinds of hairs in our bodies. When you go to the dorm, do you use the same one? You go to a kinyozi to shave your head in a cheap one. That cheap one, does it have the right spirit does it have the right measures for preventing for what? For HIV. You're looking at the 20 shillings that you're paying. Is it 20 or 10 bob that you're paying to shave? Instead of going where you're paying 1,000 so that you can shave, you are sure that everything is being sterilized. Well, let's continue. So don't say you don't have HIV. So if you are fornicating, you can easily contact what? Those are ways that you can spread HIV towards each other. Loss of self-respect also, or your self-esteem. Because now after you engage yourself in fornication, everyone knows. For girls especially, you lower your self-esteem. For boys, it also may lead to early and forced marriages. If you engage in fornication before marriage and you bring forth a child, especially for girls. For boys, I'm teaching you, I know, it doesn't apply to you. But for girls, you're forced to marry that young boy. Yes. You see why they're self-esteem? Because he's even denying. Also may lead to abortion. If now you fornicate with a girl, where are you going to take the child? You tell her to go and do what? Abortion. Which is wrong and it is a sin. Let her give birth. If she doesn't want the baby, give someone else the baby. The one who can take care of the baby. If you knew how hard it is to take care of a baby, you wouldn't just go having sex aimlessly. Also, it leads to school dropout. Even when you've been here in this school, how many girls do you know have gotten pregnant and never come back to school? Even when you only know 2 here. When you were in primary school, how many girls gave birth and they dropped out of school? It leads to that because of just a mere 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yes. For him. Yes. Let me tell you, boys. Stop laughing, saying 2 minutes, 2 minutes. People are lying to you. You know I'm older than you. People are lying to you. Oh, that one is supposed to take 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes. Psychologically not wrong. It doesn't happen. They know it doesn't happen like that. They're just lying to you. Can you raise your self-esteem? Can people stop lying to you? When you get to marriage, you will be told these things. That's why I tell you, read books. Don't be lied to. You're being lied to by people in the social media who are fools. Can you grow up to do what? We continue. Reasons why the church condemns premarital sex. As a church, we condemn fornication because it is a sin.
Yes.
We say sex is only for what? Marriage. Now, yes, it also defiles Christian body because we say the body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. And in Christianity, we only allow it in marriage. But then it breaks God's commandments. It is also a sexual immorality. And then it causes a person to lose trust in their marriage partner. If you've already had sexual intercourse before marriage, yes, and then you tell the girl you're going to marry, I've already had, she's going to mistrust you. If a girl, you come and you discover that a girl you're going to marry has already fornicated, how do you feel? That is the same way she's supposed to feel when you tell her. Yes. Yes. Yeah, the girl has experience. Continue. I say nothing. Yes. Ways of overcoming sexual temptations among the youth. How do you go preventive measures for women to take against being raped? But also some of them apply to you boys. Because people keep on forgetting about you. So listen. At home, you can even help your sister. Make sure all doors and windows have deadbolt locks and use them when in the house. Install a peephole in the door and keep entrances well lit. Never open your door to strangers, even if the reason given seems legitimate. If you are being dropped at home, ask the driver to wait and see that you get safely inside before she drives off. Check the identification of any sales people or police officers before letting them inside your house. If you come home and see a window or door open or broken, don't go in. Call the police using the cell phone, a public phone, or from a neighbor's home. Have your keys ready before reaching home, your car or office. If you think you are being followed, change direction and head for an office or house. When walking, avoid walking alone in isolated or badly lit lanes or paths. If you notice that someone is following you, cross the street, walk quickly. Make as much noise as you can to attract the attention of passersby. Make eye contact. Take time to look at the people around you. Let them know you are aware of them. The last thing a rapist wants is for you to see him coming. If you are attacked, remember you have weapons at your disposal. For example, use your voice to scream, your elbows, knees, and feet to connect with the attacker's body. Carry a whistle with you to scare potential attackers away. Draw the attention of the public by screaming, rape. Keep your distance. Never allow anyone to intrude on your personal space. That area that exists within 2 or 5 foot circle around you. By keeping this space clear to allow yourself room to spot and avoid danger. Trust your instincts by listening to your sixth sense. If you see someone that sets off your internal alarms, pay attention to the warning. Your sixth sense is trying to tell you something. When driving, park in areas that are well lit and well traveled. Always lock your car when you get in and out. Do not ask police and do not pick up hitchhiker. Avoid parking next to a van that has side panels if possible. Every rape survivor reacts differently to both rape. So we are finished there. And I don't know who was writing this. Do you have people in your doors? You don't have. I only see them on TV. Even I don't have. People is whereby you have a small hole on top of your door there, above your door. Above your door. On the other side of the door. Before someone comes in, you just watch. You pick. Those are good apartments. Those people who live in good apartments are the people. But how many people here? They are home are other people. When someone knocks like this, you can check. Thank God we are going to visit you people so that you see the people. I also don't have it. Yes? And go sit. Welcome. So today, I want you to be very keen. I don't know why you're laughing. They're very sincere.